All right, Fluid Pro. What you need to know, basically, the setup is extremely similar to the old Fluent. The biggest changes are going to be the performance of the machine itself, so that doesn't really require anything from you guys. It's just going to be better from the get-go. So, setup features: the cartridges now snap in instead of the magnets, which is great. The magnets sometimes cause issues. Now that it's lever, so they're going to snap right in. You're going to screw in the Fluent waste bag as well, which is really nice, so you won't have any issues down there. I'll show you that in a second. These hooks are individual now, so they'll sense each bag individually rather than just one hook. So you'll know when one bag is running low, and then you can remove that and then unspike the other bag. So those are kind of the setup features that I like to highlight. The screen itself is going to be a little different and actually walks you through it even more than it did previously, which is nice. Performance features: it has artificial intelligence in it. That's the biggest change. So it's going to have a machine learning response to the distension in the cavity. So as the case continues going, it will be learning throughout that duration, and it's going to be better and better distension throughout that process. So it's going to be maintaining distension really, really well as it learns, kind of how the patient's anatomy is holding that pressure, which is really nice. So it's going to be great for visualization. It's going to be great for stopping bleeding, and then it also has controllable suction, so the base suction is 2 times more powerful, which is really nice for fluid return, so your deficits can be more accurate in real time. It's also going to obviously clear blood out of the cavity really quickly, or anything out of the cavity really quickly with that suction, and even at the lowest level. And then it's also going to be able to resect much faster because of that suction. So like on a fibroid, it's going to be 3 times faster if you crank it up to high suction. So we're pretty happy with that. But I recommend leaving it at low because suction also uses saline. So you're going to go through saline a lot faster, and you're still going to get 2 times more resection, 2 times more suction at that low setting. So I recommend leaving it at that unless the surgeon asks you to move it up to medium. And then if you really need to, you can move it up to high. But high is going to drain saline very quickly. All right, we're going to go through the setup really quickly. Shouldn't be anything too new for anybody. Hang and spike your saline bags like that. Boom. Hang fluid bags. Hang waste bag. I've got that waste bag down there. Here you go. Snaps in like that, and it'll register right there. Okay, so no magnets this time. It's levers, which will prevent issues from occurring. There we go. That's your outflow. This is your inflow. Same thing, they're color coded. So for the waste bag, it screws on this time, which is nice. So you won't have wastewater flowing everywhere, which is really great. All right, since I'm being videoed, we will hurry. If you guys have any questions, let me know. All right, final checks. Confirm each step, which I really like this. So it's like, hey, make sure you spike the bag or, unclamp it. Great. Connect the waste bag. Perfect. Connect it to the scope. This is important. Make sure you connect it to the scope before you prime it because it's calibrating to the scope that you're using. So make sure you do that. Next, sweet. All right, it's ready to prime. I think everything's unclamped. There we go. So we're going to be purging air from the tubing, and we're going to be calibrating to the scope that we are using. This loading bar actually makes sense now. The previous one went like up and down and up and down, like an EKG. So this one actually is accurate. Well, I'm running out of fluid, but it'll be okay. We should be able to get through this. But you can see that it'll alarm when you hit 500 milliliters. So make sure you hang 3,000 bags on this machine. You do not want to use 1,000. It was designed for 3,000 bags. So it's actually good we're bringing it in now after the saline shortage, because that was a nightmare using this during the saline shortage because it's meant for 3,000. But it is way better. I'll show you the operative screen and then we'll be done. All right, sweet. It'll prompt you, 0 the deficit, because we primed into a basin, like always, you guys know this. So you 0 the deficit out, sweet. Hit next, it's gonna give you an alarm that the fluid bag's low. We know that, you can just clear the alarm, okay? Next, you need to make sure saline 2,500 milliliters, perfect. You can change the pressure here, same as before, so it'll go down to 40, up to 150. 80 is your baseline. Surgeons will have their different preferences. Intrauterine pressure, this is new, so it'll actually show you what the intrauterine pressure is. So this is what you want the pressure to be, this is what it actually is. So in a perfect world, it will be 80. And this machine is going to keep, like I said, that machine learning, that AI is going to try to keep that 80 consistent, and you'll see it's holding that really well throughout the case. It's going to be at 80, 79, 81, 80. It's going to be right around there. If this is like set at 80, but it's only 55, something's wrong. False passage, perforation. Let the surgeon know it's having a tough time holding pressure. Okay, that's kind of your indicator. It's a nice little safety feature with this. Suction, this is how you change it. Low, medium, high. Like I said, this is going to be 2 times faster than the old one. This one will be 5 times faster, so you can crank it up if you need to. Start on low, don't go to high, medium or high unless you need to. If you need to change or reprime or anything, reprime is right there, change the scope is right there. Sweet, that's run. Super easy. You need to plug in a MyoSure device. It's exactly the same as before. If your cords are all tangled, just remove the foot pedal, plug it back in. It is air powered. It is the simplest thing that money can buy. Any questions on that? I will say the last thing is when you are changing a fluid bag, I'll just go over this. So I'm going to unspike